Identify them, go to government and say you've got to change this.
In 1986, we had about 2,000 kilometers of what you would have called paved road, but in very sorry state.
I want to thank UBC that enables us to get these very important messages,
showcasing where we were and how far we have come.
The Kalanga Infrastructure Services Limited, we signed an implementation agreement where we are running 2 ferries. We're generating and distributing power to the entire Bugala Island, supplying clean piped water.
Even Enterprise Uganda, we started with 5 people. Today we're all over the country. When you are approached by UBC,
every week,
please make time and offer us the benefit of knowing where you came from, what you are doing, where you are headed to, so that we can all appreciate that things can be done.
My name is Ashaul Sonowere. I'm the Chairman General of National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU. NOTU has 34 unions under it, and one of them is Amalgamated Transport and General Workers Union, where I come from, and that is my constituency. It's a union that is actually in charge of transport workers, both in air and on land, and even on sea. Now, National Organization of Trade Unions was started way back in 1978. It is a workers' organization formed by workers, managed by workers, and financed by workers. Now, our main agenda is to promote, protect the interests of the workers. Now, under NOTU, there are 34 unions, but I will mention a few. There's National Teachers, Uganda National Teachers Union, UNATU is one of them, Amalgamated Transport and General Workers Union. There's the Electricity Union. There's the National Union of artists and so on, and others. Now, the background of NOTU was formed in 1978. In 1978, there was a need for unions to unite and have an umbrella, and that umbrella was thought to be National Organization of Trade Unions. And since that time, there has been leadership changes, whereby I took over in 2009. Now, since 2009, we have had a lot of progress. A lot of progress in the way that we have to unite and have under NOTU, and that umbrella was we managed to come up with a formula on how we protect workers. And one of them was to put in place laws. Some of those laws are the labor laws. I took over in they are now about 8 labor laws. Now, since 2009, our main mission is to protect the interests of workers in this country. A lot of progress in and the vision is to see that workers of this country are transformed, have better working conditions, and they can have their rights protected. And we do it through the mandate is through our affiliates. I told you that the affiliates are now 34. And those affiliates are the ones who are running day-to-day work at all sectors. You find in electricity union, there's a union which is supposed to carry out that. In transport sector, there's a union. In the teachers, they are both for private and teachers who are in government. Then when you go to flower farms, we also have union in that sector. So government workers also have their own union. We have UGAO, and others and the rest of it. So we have a very formidable force that can protect and ensure that the interests of workers at all times are protected. Activities, our objective is to ensure that workers in this country have a better working life condition. And we do it through policies, we have members of parliament who are representing us in parliament, and we have two centers that we share the membership. So in everything we are doing, we do it in a way that to achieve our goals. Some of the activities that we are undertaking is to make sure that our affiliates represent workers at workplaces. They also, and we have to sign recognition agreements, bargain with workers, and do a lot of other activities. So we have, and some of the achievements that we have achieved is making the laws, the 8 laws which was made in Parliament. Our mission is to ensure that workers have their rights at work. Now, there are so many employers, most of them sometimes they neglect workers, they don't give them proper attention. And most of them have been actually harassed at place of work. Some of them have been actually beaten. There are those who actually don't have good working conditions. I will give you an example, like in Mpiji, where we found Chinese had a lot of workers whose hands were cut. The factory was not doing well, but what we did was to ensure that we get the company to adhere to the rules of the law, and also to ensure that workers at all workplaces are protected. What we have done also to work together with the Federation of Uganda Employers and other organizations like government. We work as a tripartite. A tripartite means government, workers, and employers. So we work jointly to see that workplaces have better conditions for the workers. I will tell you that some time back we had a problem with government when government workers are not paying well. And we asked government to pay their own workers well. We went throughout the country educating workers in the local government and other institutions. We came back and made an agreement, a collective bargaining agreement with the government, and we signed that agreement. That agreement was signed on basis that have the salary increment for all employees of government at a certain level. And that was a very, very big step for us. Our mandate cuts across, especially areas where we see there's a problem, the policies are not favoring the workers. We came back and made. I'll give you an example. Recently, we had issues with we saw a lot of irrelevance in changing the laws of government, especially social security. We came in. At first, there was a lot of scandals in NSSF. In 2009, Noto came up with a policy and said, no, government, it is time. We as workers must be in the governance of NSSF. Now, that governance of NSSF, everybody was wondering. Personally, I had to tell the president, look here, time has come when we as workers, we must be on the board of NSSF and be in the governance of that board. The president asked us, what do you want? We told him we want to have membership on the board. And he said, okay. By then there was the vice president, NSSF. Vice President of Uganda by then was Gilbert Bukenya. He told the Vice President, go with the workers and give them what they want. We had a very interactive meeting with the Vice President, and we agreed that's how we came to be on NSSF board. And we were given 5 positions on the board. So that means the National Social Security Fund, being workers' organization fund, which is supposed to be contributory, was now being governed by the workers. And that was a very big step forward. Our aims is to ensure that workers, our affiliates, are protected when they are doing their work. We have 34 unions in all the sectors. You have seen the teachers, how they have fought to improve the standard of living for the teachers, even their salary. And that was done because we as National Center, we work with them closely, we protect them, that where government has not listened to them, we come on and our objectives one of them is to ensure that the working condition in this country is done within the law. And we have done that for a very long time. And we are going to continue doing that. We have so many activities that we are undertaking. Like when you see we also engage employers. One of them is to employers have their federation, which is Uganda Federation of Uganda Employers. We engage them on the basis of knowing that we are supposed to work with them and solve the issue of workers. We are also affiliated to international labor organizations. So we have a lot of activities. Every June, March, we go to Geneva to also talk issue, to discuss issues that are relevant to the workers. That's where laws, international laws are made. And that's why we drive our convention. When convention is made in that conference, we come back Uganda, we ask the government to ratify it. We are also affiliated. Another one is achievement. So we have a lot of activities. One of the achievements is we manage to have representation in Parliament. 5 members of Parliament who are now representing workers. So our issues that are affecting workers can be addressed through making good laws for the country. Secondly, the laws, I've told you the laws we have made. There are 6 or 8 laws now, which are actually can protect workers. Not only that, we have managed to make so many collective bargaining agreements where our affiliates have signed collective agreements with their sectors, like in Civil Aviation Authority, other places, even in government itself. Then we have what we call National Social Security Fund. We have just amended the law. You have seen that now workers are going to get mid-term, and I can tell you we are very proud of that. Those are some of the biggest achievements that we have for the country. We also have challenges. The challenges we have is that even in government, the young people, we need to entice them to join the union. Most of them think they have their own protection, and sometimes when they get into trouble, that's when they start running to the union. Say, hey, you people help us, we have been. Now when you ask him, why are you not in the union? We are not aware. So we need, first of all, to create awareness among the young people. I think we are also going even to go to university and get fillers from the new students and so on, those who are just going to start work, so that they know that union is what can protect them. Another challenge is for the employers. Most of the employers, they don't want to hear about the union. They think the union disrespect them. You know, some of them wants to make quick money, and sometimes union keeps on checking on them. But the union today is not the union of those days where you bang the table. There's that mutual understanding, industrial relations, whereby we work through tripartite. Another challenge is where sometimes most of the employers we are not listening to. But as union, we must force employers or government to listen to us. And some of those things are the things that we need to. But for the union today, now there is also a complaint that the civil servants are saying they have lost time. We worked in these 2 years where there's COVID. They are asking government to extend. Maybe working years to 65. I have no problem with that. But you know, in a sector where we have a lot of low employment, the young people will say now, if people want to increase years, it will be a problem. Those are some of the challenges we are going to face. And the young people will say, "Oh, but these old people, they don't want to retire. Now they want to stick there." And so we have to balance that and ensure that we don't interfere with their because we don't have jobs actually. But I don't have any problem with that. My appeal to the government, my appeal to the government is the young people will say to ensure that some of the things that we need to do now they want to with them is to work closely with the union. We have to balance that and ensure that we work closely with the workers. Because workers are the engine of the economy of this country. Because we don't have. I'm happy the government have started listening to workers, and that is one of the things that will ensure that we work together to ensure that our future plan. Some of the things that is to transform with the workers' movement is to transform the workers' movement, transforming the workers' movement in a way that it is able to work for the workers at all sectors. We also want to transform the life of workers. We also want to see that relation between the management, workers are at par. And also work together and ensure our economy is at a certain level. And we also want to see more jobs created for people. Is to transform the workers' movement. So we need a lot of interaction, it is involvement, and ensuring that workers and the employers will work together and government as tripartite. We also want to see that relation between the management. So we really want to have work together and a constant at a certain level. And we strive in whatever we are doing. So I wish we could also have something which could make government, ensuring that the workers and employers listen to each other. And we are trying to bond that. We are also trying to see that we the workers, really want to have more representation at the district level. And that was already achieved. We have achieved having 2 representatives at the district level. Every district of Uganda now has a male representative and a female. And that builds more power of the workers. Now when there's breakdown of communication, you find there is a gap. And when you create a gap between a worker and the employer, that brings a virtue. You know, when there's a virtue, Vacuum can be occupied by anything. And the only weapon the workers have is a strike. But strike must also be organized. So for us, we also don't like to have strike. But if you are not listening to us, then that's the only way we can bring you to the round table. But normally when there is a problem, we normally ask them to have that interaction and then bring them down to the round table. And that's how we... So I'm appealing to government, employers, to ensure that they don't leave gap. There must be that level of understanding where both parties talk to each other and the treatment of workers are done in a way that there's mutual respect for each other. And nobody is patronage. Nobody is overshadowing the other one. Once that is, then there is harmony and industrial relations. One of the things that we are going to, our future plan, which we have started, is to monitor the workers who go out of the country, externalization of labor, where workers are taken out to work in Arab countries, where labor laws are not stringent. We are now appealing to the government, not only the government, but we are working together with the government, employers, and even the Minister of Labor to ensure that we monitor every worker who goes out of this country, where they are going, what they are going to do, how much money they are paid, where they are working, and so on. So this will help us to have record of them, to monitor, to keep track of these workers, and to ensure that their rights are not stamped on. You find every country has got a union. Now we are going to collaborate with the unions in those countries to ensure our workers who leave this country work in the other country and work in harmony. And we are going to make sure we have a system where we monitor them and they also monitor. And once we monitor, we put that monitoring system, then we are going to have minimal abuse of workers. So I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank the President of Uganda because he has been listening to workers. Each time there is a problem, he calls workers and he gives us a hearing. I want to thank the Prime Minister's office. He has done a lot in making sure that we are together. The Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development has been very useful. Federation of Uganda Employers, of course, we have been working together to ensure that we have that harmony. I want to thank you, the media, UBC especially. You have really been there for us, and all other media houses. You have always supported us, especially on this journey where we wanted a main National Social Security Fund. Nobody could listen to us if the media was not on our side. Nobody would listen to us if the president was against us. Nobody would listen to us if the Minister of Labour, Gender and Social Development was against us. So we want to thank them. We want to thank all our members of parliament. They have done a lot to ensure that the rights of workers in all workplaces and the laws at these places are done without fear or favor. So I'm really humbled and happy that the Ugandans have now come to realize that union is there and NATO is there to work together with government, civil society, and all other players to make this country a wonderful country. My last remark is just to tell the country that humble and not has taken off. And this is a time when you workers must join the union and we must work together as a team, because together we shall achieve. Divided we fall. And I'm appealing to all workers wherever you are. please all the sectors of this country has a union. If you're a teacher, look for National Teachers Union. If our private teachers union. If you are in flower farms, look for Uganda flower farms, Uganda, those unions in the flower farms and all that. So we wish you all the best, and may God bless this country, may God bless the workers of this country, and I wish Ugandans the best. All the sectors of this country has a man. If you're a teacher, look for National Teachers Union. If our private teachers union. If you are in flower farms, look for Uganda flower farms.
On the journey of AGOA, one of the things that first happened was to train over 2,000 girls.
So there were many problems for investors at the time I joined Uganda Investment Authority. And our role was to identify them, go to government and say, you've got to change this.
In 1986, we had about 2,000 kilometers of what you would have called paved road, but in a very sorry state.
I want to thank UBC that enables us to get these very important messages.
Showcasing where we were and how far we have come.
The Kalanga Infrastructure Services Limited,
So there were many
we signed
problems
an implementation
for investors at the
agreement
time I joined
where we are running two
Uganda
ferries,
Investment Authority.
we're
And
generating
our role was
and distributing
to
power to the
identify
entire Bugala
them, go
Island,
to
supplying
government and say,
clean
"You've got to change
piped
this."
water.
In
Even enterprise
1986,
Uganda. We started with
we
5
had
people.
about
Today we're all
2,000
over the country.
kilometers of
When
what
you
would
are
have
approached by
called paved
UBC,
road, but
Every
in
week,
very
please
sorry
make
state.
time
I want to
and
thank
offer us
UBC
the
that
benefit
enables us
of knowing
to get these
where
very
you came
important
from,
messages.
what you are doing, where you are headed to, so that we can all
Kalanga
appreciate that
Infrastructure Services
things
Limited,
can be
we signed
done.
an implementation agreement.
We also have
where we are
enough
running
air.
two ferries,
It is intellectually engaging.
And you can only become a leader when there are problems.
supplying clean piped water.
I like that.
The same applies to Rwanda, Burundi. So what are we federating?
Every week,
whether rats from another country can you, I mean, someone must be, somebody must be there to hold everybody accountable.
But at the moment, we would rather deal with what we have, make it right.
First of all, we as elites of Uganda, we are very concerned with the issue. I can tell you, it's not the problem
It is
of Uganda.